Okay, day 7. We are on the boat and we're leaving San Juan and we're going to the Bacardi Factory and we're on the little ferry boat. You see the Senior Folks, that's a famous restaurant, nightclub and good food and la-di-da, la-di-da. And we will talk to you as we see this approaches to the Bacardi Factory on the little island by itself. Talk to you soon.
Our founder is Don Facundo Bacardi Manso. 75 years later, the Bacardi company decided to expand their facilities to Puerto Rico, opening the distillery in the Old San Juan on 1936, then moved to these present locations in Catania on 1958. Now the sculpture that you can find on the right side of the trolley commemorates the Bacardi's 50th anniversary in Puerto Rico. This sculpture was made by the Puerto Rican artist, Pablo Rubio. He made it in honor of time, and as you can see, it has a best image. Of course, at the Visitor Center, they will be telling you why we use a bat as a logo and the significance. So for the moment...
More about the different processes of making rum later on in the tour. But just so you know, here in Puerto Rico, we don't have ways of processing sugarcane anymore. So we have to import the molasses already processed. And the least expensive import is from the Dominican Republic. But we import from most places in the Caribbean and also some places in South America like Colombia, Brazil, among other countries there as well, right? Now, in that third mosaic over there, you see the Pirates of the Caribbean, okay? And that's because the pirates would take that molasses, ferment it, and distill it, and get a sort of harsh rum from it, right? But that type of rum is not the same type of rum that we drink today, right? They actually drank this rum for medicinal purposes. Kind of like we all do, right? Pretty sure. No, kid. No, the thing is that medicinal rum of theirs, they used to mix it with lime juice. That was to get vitamin C for the scurvy, right? And with spearmint leaves because that would protect their gums. Okay, so in a way it was very, very similar to what we know today as a mojito, right? Only difference being that that medicinal rum of theirs was very harsh and it was known as Kill Devil. Okay? Now, it had that name because they would go on their journeys at sea, right? And they would start getting seasick, which is absolutely normal. But pirates were very superstitious and they thought that meant that the devil was trying to possess them from the inside. Alright? And the only way to kill that devil was by drinking from that rum. And that rum was 160 proof. Okay? So they were pretty much drinking fire, right? But after a couple of hours the devil would be nowhere in sight. Okay? Now, our founder Don Facundo, we get to taste the Kill Devil, and he noticed how harsh it was. And that it really didn't taste that good. So he wanted to find a way to smooth it out and mellow it so he could share it with his friends and family and eventually sell it to the masses. And that's what led him into experimenting with rum in 1852. Okay? Now, so far, do we have any questions? Anyone's good? Okay, then follow me over there to that corner. We have a few important original documents of the company. This first one here to my right being the registered trademark for Bacardi here in Puerto Rico in 1909, okay? Which cost the company back then $13.25, okay? And in 1909 that was a lot of money, right? Although clearly nowadays it would cost much more to register a trademark. But still not as much money as the first income taxes that we paid with our first facilities in Puerto Rico in 1936. And that first payment was $72,770, okay? Which in 1936, that was an incredible amount of money, yes? And nowadays it still is an incredible amount of money, for sure. But nowadays we wish to go back to paying those $72,000, right? Now, does anyone here have any guesses as to how much we pay nowadays? Taxes, annually? Any guesses, any guesses?
Million.
Million? A billion? No.
No, million.
Million? How many millions?
One.
One? Much higher than one. Any other guess? 50? Higher.
Oh,
any other guess?
72.
72? Higher.
400.
No, not 400. That's too much. No. It's actually very close
107.
to, no, it's actually very close to $250 to $280 million annually in income taxes to the Puerto Rican government.
Good.
Making us the largest tax-paying company here. So folks, thank you very much for your support. Okay, we appreciate it very, very much. Now, again, do we have any questions? No?
Have you paid that much in taxes? How much does this
The
company
revenue makes billions, okay? I don't know the exact number, but it's in the billions for sure, okay? Now, just so you know, the company, yeah.
How many employees are?
Here in our grounds, we have about 250 to 300 employees, okay? So it's not that many. That's why you don't see a lot of people going around the grounds, okay? But it's because most of the distillery is mostly computerized nowadays, so they just control that, right?
Is this the only distillery in Puerto Rico?
No, well, no, it's not the only distillery in Puerto Rico. There are other distilleries, okay? The others would be in the south part of the island, okay? And this is not the only Bacardi distillery either. It is the main one. Here we produce approximately 85% of the Bacardi rum that's sold around the world, okay? And the other 15 comes from our distillery in Mexico, okay? Anything else? Okay, then just so you know, the Bacardi company nowadays is still owned by the Bacardi family, okay? It's still a private company. It's in the hands of the 5th and 6th generations of the family, all right? And I don't know if you knew that nowadays we also own other brands of liquors. You may or may not have known that, right? But if you didn't, a few different examples of the most renowned ones would include the Serono, okay? We also own Bombay Sapphire, Martini Rossi, Doers, and Grey Goose, okay? And Grey Goose, yes. That's one of the latest acquisitions. But, I mean, it's a very, very long list of different brands that we own, okay? Now, just so you know, I know most of you have cameras. Well, now's the best time to use them because from those doors on until you get to the bartending presentation, the use of them is not allowed, okay, due to copyrights of the company. So take a few moments, take your pictures here, and as soon as we're ready, no mojito, okay? Now, I told you earlier that it was made by Pirates, 160 proof, and originally it was called Drac, okay, after a pirate's name. But then came Bacardi Company with Bacardi Superior, a lighter, smoother rum, 80 proof, and they started to make the same type of drink with this and changed the name of the drink from Drac to Mojito, alright? Now, to make a mojito is actually pretty easy, okay? Don't let yourself be intimidated by all that. It's actually, you're just going to take a thick glass, about 10 ounces more or less, and you're going to pour 1.5 ounces of Bacardi Superior and about 8 to 10 spearmint leaves, okay? And those leaves, you're going to muddle them with the rum, so that the rum gets infused with the flavors and the essences, alright? Then, you're just going to add 1.5 ounces of fresh squeezed lime juice and a couple of teaspoons of sugar. You stir that, but you're going to notice that the drink is still coming up short, okay? So to fill it up to the top, you're going to add ice and club soda. Stir it once more, make sure everything mixes well, and that will be it for your mojito, okay? Very, very easy. Now, the third drink is the most popular drink around the world. It's also the simplest one to make. It's this one right here, but it's kind of missing this. There we go. Now that would be a Cuba Libre, okay? Not to be confused with rum and coke, okay? There is a difference. The difference is this. That right there would be rum and coke or Bacardi and coke, okay? Cuba Libre makes all the difference in the world, alright? Now, making a Cuba Libre is actually absolutely simple. It's just 1.5 ounces of Bacardi Gold, and then fill up the glass with coke and ice, and that's it, okay? It's that simple. But always remember the lime and coke, okay? It's not Pepsi.
Not Pepsi, please.
It's not Diet Coke,
yeah.
Okay? Anything other than regular Coke would not be a Cuba Libre, right?
Got you.
Now, the story behind this drink's name actually came after the Spanish-American War, that there was a group of soldiers that went out to celebrate to a bar in Havana, right? And after various hours of celebration, one of the higher-ranking officers had this drink in hand, and he decided to make a toast in Spanish. And he said, "Larga vida por un Cuba Libre." long life for a free Cuba. And from that point on, the cocktail was known as the Cuba Libre, right? Although nowadays, this is mostly for our Cuban friends, they also know this drink as La Mentirita, the little lie.
No little lie.
But you're smart enough to figure that one out on your own, right?
Cuba's not free.
Out of all of the rums that I have here on the counter, Bacardi Superior, when your age rum, is the one that's sold most around the world. Why? Because it's the most mixable one. But this actually tastes better with different types of juices. Bacardi Gold, to your age rum, is better with different types of sodas, right? Now, if you like sipping rums more, here I have Bacardi 8, which is a blend of 8 to 10-year-old age rums. Very similar to whiskey or bourbon. And it's actually very good on the rocks, or you can try mixing it with Coke, which is going to make the best Cuba Libre you're ever going to taste. Or, little side recipe here, to try 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream and then there's a little Bacardi 8 on top. Okay? And you will remember me after that one. Yes. And this last one over here will be our Reserva Limitada, limited reserve, which is a blend of 10 to 16-year-old age rums. Okay? Very similar to a cognac in the sense that it's going to be very, very smooth. Okay? Now, that originally was only found in our souvenir shop. Although nowadays, we are trying to expand it a little bit more, but it's only found in the Caribbean. In very few duty-free shops, and even less liquor stores. But supposing you were to buy it here, you do get the gold and blue case for display, a certificate of authenticity with your name on it and everything. Plus, you can personalize the bottle with an engraving in gold letters that goes right here on the glass with whatever message you want. Then you can write your name on it, write the date, open in case of emergencies. No kidding. Thing is, the case, the certificate, and the engraving are no additional cost to the bottle. Now, this one I say that you drink on its own, alright? And to me, that means with no ice, and no water, God forbid juices and sodas, and no neighbors, no family, no friends. We are very, very clear on this, yes?
Yes.
Good. So, do we have any questions about anything here?
How you got to drink to make sure they're right?
You could, but they don't have any rum inside.
Does that make it a stronger proof?
The aging? No, it's actually going to stay 40 proof all throughout the aging
It stays 40
process.
proof.
Okay?
Okay.
The proof will be the same always.
Okay.
Quick question. Is there a relationship between Coke and Bacardi?
No. At least not anymore. I think there used to be at one point, but not now. Not now. Okay? Anything else?
It just don't taste right.
Right. Well, folks, if there's nothing else, well, thank you very much for your visit, okay? And have a very nice day.
Thank you. Thank you. Sugarcane fermentation tanks, 15,000 gallons.
Now the white cream tall building you're about to see on the left side, that's our distillery. Baptized as the Cathedral of Rum by our then Governor Luis Muñoz Marin back in 1958. My friends, this is a distillery in which we produce 100,000 gallons of rum every 24 hours, which makes us the largest premium rum distillery around the world. Bacardi Corporation also owns different types of brands such as Tequila Cazadores, Martini Rossi, Grey Goose Vodka, and Dewar's Whiskey. Now the buildings you're about to see on the left side, these are the administrative offices with the murals on the wall representing the local flora, Puerto Rico. Right now we have around 180 employees working today. Actually, the president of the company is one of the members of the 5th generation of the Bacardi family. His name is Joaquin Bacardi III. My friends, if you look to the right side of the bus, you can see our pavilion, where the whole tour started. The pavilion was made as an abstract form of a bat in flight. Maybe you could not see it now, but after a couple of drinks, take a look again. Now coming up to the left side, you can see a beautiful view of the Fort San Felipe del Morro and the Bay of Old San Juan.
I think you move up a little bit. And that's where we were yesterday. Climbing them steps and all those.
Now the windmills on the left side, they were created in 2010. They can provide around 85% energy to the pavilion and the visitor center, and 7% energy to the whole company, saving us around $75,000 every year.
Can you tell the rest of America that?
All right, my friends, we're now going to an end of the tour. We're now leading you to the white and yellow building ahead of us. That's our gift shop. You can find some cool Bacardi souvenirs, including a good variety of the Bacardi rum. Now, on behalf of the whole company, my name is Carlos. We thank you for your visit.